Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Western Herald Headlined. This is the first edition of the 2025 spring semester. I am Grace Teachout. I'm the news editor, and I am here with
Joey Hartzell, the lead sports reporter, and your new current statistical appearance leader.
Very exciting.
I overtook Jack Meneke, our sports editor, on the news podcast, might I add, for most appearances. I feel like that's a strong accomplishment that I hold.
Absolutely.
I'm really going to put that front center on my resume.
And you even had your news bylines last semester.
I did. I had a couple news bylines.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun adventure.
It was.
Leaving the sports world.
So we are back from breaks. Classes have started. People are back on campus. In case you missed it, over break, there was the fall commencement ceremony. WMU conferred over 1,000 degrees at this ceremony on December 14th. There's over 800 bachelor's degrees, 200 master's degrees, and 60 doctoral degrees. So it was a big commencement, very exciting. President Montgomery said some stuff. He always has something insightful to say, which is really nice to hear as you leave the Western world and move on in your future. We also had a story about CAB leadership, Campus Activities Board. I talked with their new president, Keegan, and she talked about how leadership changes have been settling into CAB and like how they've been adjusting to the new school year. Yeah. What happened over break, Joey?
Well, a lot happened actually in the sports world. The Western Michigan hockey team is up to 4th in the country in a lot of polls, and had a big matchup with Michigan State, who's currently ranked number 1, faced off in the Great Lakes Invitational up in Grand Rapids over in between Christmas and New Year's. It was a successful tournament, I'd say, for Western. They beat Michigan Tech in the first game, moved on to play Michigan State, and unfortunately lost 3-1, but it was still a competitive game, and they look good. And you'll gain some national recognition in a spot that I think that Western was kind of overlooked going into break. And, they kind of established themselves as a top team in the country. And then football ended their season, unfortunately, on a low note. Lance Taylor's squad went out with a loss to South Alabama in the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl, formerly known as the Camellia Bowl for any of you who may follow football on a pretty deep level. Annual matchup of the MAC and Sunbelt, and Western Michigan did not get it done. The MAC did perform pretty well, however, though, around the conference and most of the other bowl matchups. And Jaden Nixon led the way on the ground with 11 carries and 45 yards, and senior quarterback Hayden Wolf ended his career with a 17 for 27 performance with 196 yards and a touchdown. It was fun watching Hayden play in brown and gold. Same with Jaden Nixon, who has unfortunately already entered the transfer portal, and he is going to the University of Central Florida. But
wow, big move.
Yeah, with that, I will pass it back to you for some more news stories from over break.
In the wise words of Jack Meneke, we always cover the wins and the losses. And
yes,
we got to highlight all of that. Something exciting for this semester is today, when you're watching this, you can go pick up a new print edition. It's our first of the semester. We have locations all over campus, some of those including, we got the Richmond Center for Visual Arts, we have the WMU Student Center, floor 1 and 2, Sangren Hall, Waldo Library, Brown Hall, Heritage Hall, Sproul Tower, Syndicuse, Student Rec, Dunbar, Schneider Hall, Wood Hall, and the College of Health and Human Services. So there's places all over campus where you can go pick up a print edition. We did a long one. It's a 12-pager. Lots of good stuff going in that story. A lot of semester previews, what's going on, what to look forward to. So yeah, we're very excited about that. We have some upcoming events next week, or this week when you're watching this. The College of Arts and Sciences is hosting a study abroad fair, and that is going to be on, if I can pull up the date here. That is going to be on Thursday, January 16th. It's going to be in the Dunbar Hall lobby area on the second floor. They're just going to talk about how you can gain any essential studies, elective, major, minor credits while studying abroad, which is a really fun opportunity that I don't think people take advantage of enough, because Western offers a ton of scholarships, all of this, and it's just a cool experience. It'd be fun to say oh, I went here and studied this.
No, we have programs going to every continent besides Antarctica, so many different countries that you would not even consider going to, like not even
Yeah.
considering studying abroad in this location.
Mhm.
And it's probably offered by Western. They
Yeah.
offer so many different destinations. I have one of my roommates he's doing a study abroad program at the end of the year in May. He's
Oh, that's
going over
awesome.
to, I think, Germany.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had another friend, she went to, was it Costa Rica, I think,
Yeah.
for a
Mhm.
week, like over spring break, and was able
Mhm.
to get a like 3 credit hours out of that or
Yeah,
something
they
like
do
that.
a lot of like, oh, it's spring break and you get 3 credits like just over spring break.
Yeah,
So that's
and
like a
it's like
crazy.
you go hang out and you do all these activities and you learn about the culture of this place. And
Mhm.
I'm sure that there are some activities that may not be
Yeah.
the most vacation-y fun things in the world,
Yeah,
but
but
it
it's
sounds like
still-
a very enjoyable trip overall.
Yeah, I think just like traveling in general, like any opportunity you get to do it, especially as a college student, like take advantage of that. Like there's a lot of like cool places, and also like I feel like a lot of people, they get scared like, oh, I don't speak the language, or I don't
Yeah.
like, I've never been out of the country. They do a lot of like faculty led trips where it's like you're not just like getting on a plane and getting dropped off in this country where you don't know where it is. There's a lot of faculty led trips where it's like you go with a group and you're in like an English speaking like university. So yes, very exciting. So if you're interested in that, go to the study abroad fair and learn more about that. We also have, looking ahead to next week, it's Martin Luther King Day. So there is the annual teach-in like session, and the speaker this year is Bakari Sellers. He's an author and political commentator, and that event is free, open to the public. It's at Miller Auditorium at 6 p.m. I went and saw the speaker last year, and she was really interesting. She talked about a lot of stuff. She was also an author. Her name was Alicia, and just really cool, like a experience that like you might not realize that like Western offers, but just a fun little event. What's coming up in sports, Joey?
Well, hockey is getting into their main stretch of the
Mhm.
season. We're getting really into, I think we're done with non-conference games, so it should be only conference matchups in hockey for the rest of the season, which for us, sometimes fortunately, sometimes unfortunately, means a lot of really tough games,
Yeah.
really strong conference in the NCHC. But the Broncos have seen what are supposed to be the best teams in the conference so far, playing Denver already at home and Colorado College as well. But it'll be interesting to see how they fare off against new foes like Arizona State, who joined the conference for the first year. Otherwise, basketball is also getting into conference play. Their conference slate is just a bit easier in the MAC. MAC basketball level just isn't quite at the level of the NCHC in hockey, which, fair enough, most conferences and most sports aren't that level. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Western Michigan. The men's team had a bit of a rough non-conference stretch. Played some really good teams, played some really tough teams, played Michigan State close in the Breslin Center in East Lansing a couple weeks ago. And I'm excited to see what they can do in conference. Get it a little bit more manageable of a schedule, get some teams closer to our caliber in University Arena, and see what happens.
Absolutely. I know hockey's been killing it. I don't follow a ton of sports stuff, but I know that hockey's been on fire this season. So
Yes. We also have an article coming out soon. The football team has picked up some transfers. I know transfer season is a very big deal now, especially in football. And Western Michigan's gotten several transfers. Former four-star running back from Michigan, Cole Cabana, is coming to Western Michigan to join Jalen Buckley in the backfield, kind of take over Jaden Nixon's spot. Several offensive linemen coming over from Power 5 ranks as well to kind of replace the consensus All-American. Shout out to Addison West, by the way. Consensus All-American. That doesn't happen very often at Western Michigan. And Addison West, starting offensive guard, played a little bit of center this year when Jacob Gideon, who was an All-MAC offensive lineman himself, went down. And he was great. And it's shout out to him. Good for him to get the recognition he deserves on a national
Absolutely.
level. There are very few consensus All-Americans in general, and to be one out of the MAC is a very impressive accomplishment and speaks to how good he was on the offensive line this year. So shout out Addison West for a fantastic senior season in a Bronco
Absolutely.
uniform.
Absolutely. We have some things coming up in arts and entertainment. The WMU Theater season is kicking off their last stretch. So some of those shows that are going to be here this semester are all the Natalie Portmans. They're doing Titanic, Great Gatsby, Dreamgirls, and The Book of Silence. So all those WMU Theater shows are really awesome. I saw Legally Blonde over back in the fall semester, and all of those shows are just incredible. So if you have a chance, you can go to those shows. You get discounted tickets as a student. You can get $7 tickets, which is really awesome because those tickets are normally like $20. So get a nice little discount, take some friends, have a fun night.
And they're good shows too.
They're amazing shows.
Like, not even just saying that, they're great shows.
Mhm.
Support our theater department.
Yes.
They do great work.
They put
deserve,
so much
they deserve your
time.
eyeballs.
They do. So we talked about the new print. We talked about what's going on this semester. What's going on with you, Joey, this semester? What do you for classes?
Oh, they're classes. You know, it's good to be back in the swing of things. I get bored when I'm not doing things when I'm over break and I don't have anything to work on.
Yeah, I was home over break, and I towards the last couple of days I was like, okay, I'm ready to be back. I'm ready to be back in the studio, back in the office,
back in the
campus.
swing of things. I get to cover things again. Unfortunately, the sports teams kind of shut down as well over break.
Yeah.
They play a little bit. Obviously, you have like hockey
but
going to Grand
home with their
Rapids,
families.
but you know, you don't really get a chance. There aren't any hockey home games for a month. We don't get to go watch a hockey team. We don't get to watch a basketball team in person. So I'm glad to be back. Glad to get to go see these teams play in person again. I love watching all of our sports teams, even the ones that may not be as successful in the win-loss. They're still fun events, and you know, it still gives me a lot of pride rooting for Western Michigan at these events, even if I can't show it while I'm there covering the game.
You gotta
hold it in
lock
a little bit.
Yeah. But no, I think I love being back on campus. Like, I loved being home. I love like getting to go back home and see my cats and my family. But being able to like be back on campus and like back in like my community and covering events again is just so much fun.
Oh, for sure. And campus looks beautiful right now. With all the snow.
It was snowing this
got
morning.
Got like 5 inches of snow or something like that on the ground right now. So it's awesome in my little Honda Civic driving around Kalamazoo, but I love the snow, so it's...
Yeah, I drove home for break, and I live like an hour away. It took me like 3 hours to get home because the roads were so icy. There was a semi in front of me going like maybe 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, roads are rough right now, so everybody be safe.
Stay safe.
Be careful.
If you don't have to go drive, don't.
Exactly. And if you can, use 4-wheel drive.
Yes.
Use a bigger vehicle. It does make a difference. As someone who drives a little vehicle, it does make a difference.
Yeah. I used to have a big like Ford Explorer, and she died. I miss her every day. But now I have my little Subaru, and she has all-wheel drive, but
I'm rocking front-wheel drive. And
yeah, in the snow belt
too
is in the snow belt. I had something that I was going to talk about.
Well, our Western Michigan Theater seniors are doing their annual cabaret called Next Stop Broadway.
Yes.
That happened December 5th in the Williams Theater alongside a guest star who was Tony-nominated actress Caitlin Kinnunen.
Yes.
Kinnunen is widely known for her work in the Broadway musical The Prom and worked with students on their first performance that they will take to New York City in March of 2025, which they will use to showcase their work in front of agents, casting directors, and other industry professionals to help them get jobs. So shout out to all of our seniors in the music theater department. If you want more on that story, you can check that out in our arts and entertainment section on our website, westernherald.com. That was written by Maddie Sneller, one of our great staff reporters.
Maddie's great.
Who always do a great job. We love our staff reporters here at Western Herald and love shouting them out. So good luck to our theater seniors
that's
going
such
to Broadway.
Awesome, like thing, like they get to go to New York and like perform in front of these people that could get them jobs on Broadway, slots in, just like connections, which is always really important. And like Joey said, we love our staff reporters. And if you're interested in becoming a staff reporter for the Western Herald, we have meetings every Friday at noon in the Student Center. On our Instagram page, one of our pinned posts is all of the pitch meeting locations. We're usually in room 2209, 2207. It switches depending on the week. But so that next meeting, when you're watching this, will be January 17th at noon. So if you're interested in writing, drawing, doing photography, anything for the Herald, any section, come join us. We're a fun group of people. We love having new guests. We love like seeing who comes into the pitch meetings. And we're really fun. We do a Would You Rather question every week. So if you're interested in that.
I love the Would You Rather questions.
Yes, it's so much fun to see people's answers. Like, I think we did one question where it was like, what is like the biggest animal that you think you could fight? That one was really fun. What did you say? Because I remember yours was like
deer.
Yes.
I gotta take down a deer.
I think you could too.
And that was my question, by the way, for anybody curious.
Of course. Joey does great questions. I don't remember what I said. I think I said like a goose. Like goose really scared me, but I think I could take
there
one
were
on.
There were some confident answers. There were some answers that I was like,
bold, but like
I don't see it, but go for it. You got confidence.
I love the confidence. That was one of our last meetings of last semester, so that was a fun little way to wrap up.
I'm excited to see everybody again.
Yes.
Get everybody back in the pitch meetings.
It's so great. We had our Western Herald staff editorial board meeting on Tuesday, and it was so great just to like be back with everybody.
See everybody
again.
Yes,
it was like, oh, I'm back with my people, which is so much fun. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of stuff ramping up on the website in the next coming weeks as we slowly get back into the semester. We have our next print that's coming out on Monday. Lots of previews. We have, let me pull up maybe tease that print a little bit. I know we have a WSA preview going in written by new lead news reporter Bella. So she talked to student body president Alex Kasperzak and speaker of the assembly Sam Longlet, and kind of just talk to them about like what's WSA has planned for the semester, what are they doing. We have some previews about the MLK Day speaker and the teach-in preview, kind of talking about that, giving you more information. So if you're interested in that stuff, you can go pick that up on Monday. There's some career fairs that are going on this semester. So I'm going to kind of talk about like what's the best way to use a career fair, because I feel like a lot of people like we see these things that are going on campus, like these resources, and people like don't know how to take advantage of them. So kind of just talking about that, because career fairs can be a great way to make connections, build a resume, even just like learning how to talk to people in like more of a professional sense, which I think is very valuable.
And obviously Western holds career fairs in almost every college on campus. The College of Arts and Sciences, College of Communications, things like that. There's career fairs going on probably close to once a semester. I know when I was in engineering, they had a career fair each semester at the engineering campus, had like 150 companies out there. It was an awesome way to network, awesome way to get some more information on an internship you think you might not have thought of before, you might not have realized was out there. So it's definitely valuable. Definitely check that out for sure.
And they also have them like very like specific to different like career paths. So it's not like you're going to go to one of these career fairs and it's like, oh, all of this is for business, but I'm in the arts.
Right.
So you're going to find one that's specific to you. And even if you don't, it's always just good to go and explore stuff like that. We're also going to be talking about the new WMed free clinic in downtown Kalamazoo. They partnered with a gospel ministry to take over this like old fire station, and now it's a free clinic for Kalamazoo residents. I think it's for anybody, but mainly Kalamazoo residents since it's downtown Kalamazoo. So that's exciting. Lots of good things, lots of previews, stuff like that. Yeah. So
with that, I think that's the end of the first episode of Western Herald Headlined in 2025. We're excited for a big semester to finish out the year. So stay tuned. We got a lot of content coming out. We have a great multimedia team led by our multimedia editor, Aidan Ralko, who is
love Aidan.
Currently behind the cameras, and you can't see him right now, but
Killing
we love
it
Aidan
on the video.
Aidan does so much for the Western Herald, and is a big reason why you get all of the video content that you get on the Western Herald.
That's why you see this on camera and not just hear us on the radio. So.
Exactly. So with that, thank you guys for watching. I'm Joey Hartzell, and
I'm Grace Teachout, and have a great day. Bye.